I need a break. It's so beautiful here. No, don't shoot. It wasn't going to attack. Juliana, what are you doing here? I told you these grounds aren't safe. I'm sorry. Let's go. Juliana is a biologist, and she has been working on a foreign project in Duristan as part of the BII Research Foundation. But all this merit goes to Professor Cole Jackson, her boss. Without him, Juliana would have never reached this point in her life. Juliana belongs to a middle-class family. And although she is a brilliant student and got a scholarship to BII, it wasn't anywhere near enough to complete her studies. It was only under the recommendation and funding of Professor Jackson that she was able to join this project as his assistant. Juliana knows she is competent and capable of her post, but that isn't the only reason she got so much preference from Professor Jackson. All this is because he probably had some other expectation from her, and she feels indebted to him, even if she doesn't want their relationship to progress more than it ever has been. Returning back to her tent that night, Professor Jackson, of course, scolded her for her actions. Like always. But then he calmed down and said to her, "Now sleep well. Tomorrow we have been invited by the royal family, the Zubbles. I want you to dress your best. Treat them with courtesy, but maintain your distance from them. And don't be alone with any one of them. There are many things you don't understand, and these families have many secrets." "Yes, Professor." In all these years working for Professor Jackson, Juliana has always felt overlooked, and she feels like she is only there to compliment him, and nothing of her own. But there is nothing Juliana can do about it. The next evening, while Juliana was preparing herself, Professor Jackson came to visit her. "Are you ready?" "Yes." "No, don't dress formal like a doctor. Wear this. It's a royal gathering." Without much choice, Juliana wore the red dress. They arrived at the Zebul Palace around 7 p.m. And Professor Jackson introduced her to the royal family. But listening to him brag about himself to the king, Juliana was fed up. Finding an opportunity, Juliana went out to the garden and took a seat to calm herself. Isn't he a little old for you? Excuse me? Juliana turned to see a young man staring at her. As he sat down beside her, sorry, should be minding my own business, but I couldn't help it. We're not together. He's my professor and my boss. I work for him. Well, he treats you like he owns you. It's not like that. The man chuckled as he looked behind Juliana. There he comes. If it's really not like that, then he's not going to get angry at you now. What? With that, the young man walked off. And Juliana turned to see Professor Jackson. What are you doing out here? I told you not to be alone. My head was hurting, so I thought And what were you talking about with him? Nothing. Don't keep things from me, Juliana. You don't know these people. You don't know what they're capable of. Many rumors go around in this village about this family. Don't be deceived by what you see. Stay put, be by my side, and do as I say. Listening to Professor Jackson, Juliana suddenly felt her anger overtake her. For the first time, she spoke back to him. Why? Why should I do as you say? You don't own me, and I'm not here for you to show off. Juliana, where is this coming from? You're asking me? You treat me like I'm your property, and I'm done with it. Oh, I see. That's how you see it. Then perhaps you should return. As Professor Jackson fell quiet and simply left, Juliana froze. What did I just do? Why did I behave like that? It was a quiet drive home. And the next morning, Juliana got a call from Professor Jackson. Miss Juliana, Professor Jackson has called you. Professor, I really wanted to talk to you about last night. There's no need for any explanation. Here are your release papers. You can take the flight today evening. What? No, please, Professor, don't do this. I don't know what got into me last night. I didn't mean what I said. It's fine, old Juliana. You may leave. No matter what, Juliana couldn't convince Professor Jackson otherwise. She was left with no choice but to pack up and leave. And now, she is waiting for her flight back home. Juliana was startled as the young man from the palace took a seat beside her. You? Are you following me? Who are you really? First, we didn't get to finish up last night. How are things with your husband? I told you he's not my husband. so you know who I'm talking about. Just stop it. Because of you, my whole life's work is ruined. Me? Yes, I was kicked off the project. If not anything, he brought me to where I am, or was, and now I have nothing. The young man smiled as he said, I see. How about I make it up to you? What? A cup of coffee? Like that's going to make up for it. Do you even realize what I lost? Let me introduce myself to you. I am Duri Zubul, the Prince of Duristan, the heir to the throne of the king, Bor Zubul. Oh, Your Highness. Just call me Duri. That evening, everything changed for Juliana. All of a sudden, she was a royal guest, from the tent to a chamber in the palace. For the next couple of days, Duri showed her around the kingdom. To say, this was the beginning of their relationship. Both had grown a sort of fondness for each other. And in all this, Duri even had the king speak with Professor Jackson to take Juliana back. I insist, you take her into your project. She's a brilliant mind. Yes, of course. And reluctantly, Professor Jackson had to take her back into the project. On the other hand, Juliana became close with the royal family. The king and queen were very eloquent and kind people. But as for Duri's sister, Natasha, there was something strange about her. It seemed she wasn't very fond of Juliana. It was one night in the palace. Juliana overheard her and Duri talking. Have you gone mad? You're going to propose to her? What is your problem, Natasha? Why can't you just be happy for me? Because this isn't just about you. This is about all of us. How can you trust and bring her here? She's not like the rest of them. And how do you know? You're nothing but gullible. She'll give us up just like that. I know what I'm doing, and I'm not a child anymore. He's planning to propose to me? Does he expect me to stay with him in Duristan forever? As Duri turned, Juliana quickly got into bed. Is everything alright? Yes, it's fine. Duri, if you don't mind, can I ask you something? What is it? I don't think your family, or maybe Natasha, really likes me. Don't worry about her. This is about me and you, not anyone else. There's actually something I've been wanting to ask you. What is it? Come with me. I love you, Juliana. And before we take this any further, I need to know, do you truly love me? Of course I do. What can you sacrifice for me? Everything, Duri. Then Juliana, will you be my wife? Juliana was happier than ever when Duri proposed, and of course she said yes. Though Natasha didn't seem happy, the king and queen obliged with what their son wanted. It was about a week before the marriage, however. Professor Jackson came to meet her. He was returning back home. "Come back with me. Let's go back. Juliana, they're not what they seem. People of this village are afraid of this family. There's a reason behind it. Many even say they aren't human." "I know, Professor. You're keeping me in this project against your will because of the royal family, but that doesn't justify you slandering them. Juliana, you don't know what you've gotten yourself involved in. At least keep this with you." "And don't let anyone know about this." The night before the marriage, Juliana was feeling anxious. "Are you all right?" "Just a little overwhelmed about tomorrow." "Don't worry. There's something I need to show you." Juliana followed Duri outside the palace. "Where are we going?" But Duri simply walked on, behind the palace towards the forest. In the distance, Juliana could see the queen and Natasha. "Duri, what is going on?" As Duri joined them, Juliana stood confused. "What are we waiting for?" Within a while, Juliana began to hear a rustle from the trees. She saw a black wolf come out, biting onto something. It was the cadaver of a human being. "Duri, what is happening?" The queen then announced, "Join the king." Within moments, right before her eyes, the queen transformed into a wolf herself. And then Natasha. About 300 years ago, the Zubbles ruled over the people of Duristan. And there was peace, law, and order in this village. However, when a strange plague hit their village, chaos began. The Zubbles locked up the palace to secure the royal family, but what they didn't know was that the plague had already entered within the palace walls. And when the queen fell ill, Boar Zubble was devastated. He couldn't accept the death of his wife and his 2 children, and he tried everything to find a cure. Alas, going to the town healer. This plague will not spare anyone, be he young or old, be he rich or poor. How can we survive? There is only one way, immortality, but eternal life comes with its price. What do we have to do? Feast on the dead and live forever as a ghoul. In that desperate situation, Boar Zubble did as told. feasting on the dead to enjoy life eternal. Juliana stumbled back in fear as all of Professor Jackson's words flashed before her eyes. As she tried to run, she fell. Dewey turned to her, stooping down as he put forth his hand. Join us.
That wolf. It was you. Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting. Glenn and Vera both went to BII University in California, where they first met. They have been dating for about 2 years, and on this summer vacation, Vera thought it would be great if Glenn tagged along with her to her hometown in Pineville, Kentucky. The first few days that Glenn and Vera were in her hometown went by in barbecue parties and family picnics, where Glenn was made the center of attention. Vera was having fun teasing Glenn, but by the 4th day, Glenn had just about enough of Uncle Bill and Aunt Tina, Cousin Anna, and well, people he had no clue who was who. Vera, today will be just you and me. Please, try to understand what I'm going through. You might be their little Vera, but I'm a stranger. Take it easy, Glenn. They all think very greatly of you. But don't worry, today I have something different planned. Vera and Glenn spent the day at home. At around 5 in the afternoon, she took Glenn out for a walk. Where are we going? We're going down to the lake. You'll like it there. The weather is great, there's always a breeze, and best of all, after 6, there's nobody there. So it will be just me and you. Do you know how to swim? Why, are you planning to drown me there? Now that you mention it, maybe that's a better plan. Glenn and Vera joked and gossiped with each other until they reached the lakeside after about a 20-minute walk. The lake was surrounded by the woods. Glenn and Vera had just walked down a narrow path through the woods that led out to the bank of the lake. Glenn picked up a few stones and started skipping them on the water. Hey, did you see that one? It hopped on the water 4 times. Loser, I've gone as far as 6. Glenn squinted his eyes and pointed to the other side of the lake. Hey, what's that? That's an amusement park. It's been shut down and abandoned. Let's go check it out. No, we can't do that. Nobody in this town goes there. It's haunted. What? An amusement park? Haunted? You really don't believe that, do you? I don't know if it's true or not, but the townspeople talk of what happened years ago, before the park shut down for good. Story time? It's the curse of the clown. Oh, please, Vera, don't tell me you people are paranoid of clowns. I'm not joking, Glenn. This amusement park opened back when I was about 3 years old. It was owned by two brothers. They used to dress up as clowns and entertain the people. I have vague memories of what the amusement park used to be like. The brothers were always very cheerful, and they loved to laugh and make others laugh. The amusement park had small stalls set up inside. There was a gypsy who used to work there. Only the most dark and daring went to her stall. She was creepy and just plain weird. It was one day that she left her stall and went around the park viewing the others. She stopped by one of the brothers putting on his clown show. But as soon as the clown caught sight of her, something happened to him. He got scared of her, which wasn't unusual. I bet everyone was afraid of her. The gypsy encouraged him to continue, but the clown just froze. He couldn't perform properly. His tricks were all failing on him. He was tripping and falling. In one word, he was a mess. The gypsy was offended. She cursed him, saying, "You dare insult me? No one dares to mess with Lavinia. I curse you. The show must go on. You will perform, and it will be never-ending in life and in death, and this shall be known as the curse of the clown." The gypsy had cursed the younger of the brothers, and it was after that day that people started to notice something strange in him. He started to wear his costume more often than he normally would. He was always joking and fooling around. This only continued to the point he secluded himself. He began living in the amusement park. He lived his life as a clown and joked about every matter, no different from an insane person. His behavior slowly started to turn violent when his elder brother, other family members, and folk got in his way. They were worried for him, but he wasn't in his right mind anymore. He became hysterical. He cackled all the time. He couldn't speak properly anymore. He was out of control. His mental health was the first to go, and then his physical health failed him. He passed away in that state, still insanely laughing on. People remembered the curse of the gypsy. They were afraid to go to the amusement park. The elder brother was heartbroken. Workers left their jobs, people stopped going, and soon enough, the elder brother shut down the amusement park for good and left town. No one knows where he went, but the amusement park has been the way he left it. No one goes there anymore. People say they can still hear that creepy cackling laughter of the clown that was cursed. Vera, don't be superstitious. Creepy story, but it can't be true. Crazy gypsy and an innocent clown, a curse? Vera was reluctant to go, but it wasn't long before Glenn took her hands and pulled her along the bank. "Okay, I'm going, but not all the way in. You can walk around and come back out in 2 minutes." It took Vera and Glenn about 10 minutes to get to the other side of the lake. "All right, let's go back. It's locked. There's no way inside." "Not so fast. The wire fence is cut open here. We don't need to use the gate." Vera followed after Glenn. They were a bit shocked to see the whole amusement park had been vandalized. Vera was awed, standing in front of the rusted Ferris wheel she once rode. The carts swayed in the wind. Glenn was already far down the row of broken stalls and creaking rides. Vera was too afraid to go far into the amusement park. She'd rather stay by the gate. Glenn was amazed by the scene. One thing about what Vera said turned out to be true. It was pretty creepy in here, and the whistling wind only added to the spine-chilling experience. What was weird was that everything was ruined except for the weird clown statues. Glenn walked up to one. The statues were life-size, a bit more plump and broader than him. It stared back at Glenn with big wide eyes and the most disturbing smile Glenn had seen. Glenn had always thought clowns were peculiar. He couldn't understand why kids liked them so much. He shouted out to Vera. When he turned, he saw Vera was way up ahead at the gate. "Vera, come here and see what I found. There's nothing to fear. I told you guys. You're just scared of a silly superstition." Vera couldn't hear him. She was anxiously pacing back and forth. Glenn started heading her way, but just as he took a few steps, he heard a noise behind him. He furrowed his brows. Did he just hear the sound of a laughter? Glenn suddenly became frantic. He dearly wished to see nothing when he turned around. He slowly turned his neck, his eyes wide open in fear. Glenn let out a deep breath when he turned around. Everything was still and silent. He guessed Vera's words had just gotten to him. He walked back to the clown and stared at it, folding his arms together. Glenn stumbled to the ground in fear. What in the world was happening? The clown cackled on and approached him. Well, 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 look who's come to watch me perform. Which one will it be, a sword or some chloroform? Glenn yelled out as he got up and sprinted for his life. Vera, run! Glenn looked back as he kept running. The clown was chasing after him, laughing like a madman, rage and fury in his eyes. A crooked grin spread across his face. Glenn kept shouting, Vera, run! Vera suddenly heard a noise. She looked out and spotted Glenn running to the gate, his face white as a ghost. She ran towards him, but she couldn't understand. Why was he waving his hands, ushering her no? Just then, Glenn fell to the ground. Vera was devastated. She flew into a panic, not knowing what to do. Glenn was unconscious. She quickly called for help while she tried to make him wake up. It was about half an hour later that help had finally come. Glenn woke up in Vera's bedroom. Vera was sitting by his side. He sat up startled. What happened? How did we get back home? You fainted in the amusement park. Why were you running at me like that? You didn't see it? That what? Glenn looked at Vera's face. She was completely unaware of what happened that night. Glenn decided not to tell her. All Glenn wanted was to get out of Pineville and back to home sweet home in California. After a few more days of resting and regaining his health, Glenn and Vera returned to their apartments in California. Glenn was happy to be in his cozy apartment, meeting up with his buddies from university and spending Friday nights at the bar with the guys. He had totally forgotten the creepy incident that happened back in Pineville until one evening, when he was watching the news with Vera, a news report caught his attention. Good morning, San Francisco. Strange events have been taking place in Bernal Heights in the past 2 weeks of this month. Now, with another person found lifeless in his home, that makes a total of 7 victims found, along with numerous mentionings and reports from local folk that they have been seeing a clown walking around in the dark hours of the night. Police have found unusual paint markings on the victims and silly toy gadgets left around the house. All suspicion points to none other than that wicked individual who has been lurking the streets of San Francisco wearing a clown's costume. Keep your eyes on the lookout and report anything suspicious to the police. Now that's one coincidence. First we visit that spooky clown amusement park, and now some crazy clown is out on the loose here as well? Well, what can I say? Weird things happen. I just hope I don't stumble upon him. Vera left for her apartment after they had dinner together that night. When she left, Glenn went straight to bed. He had work and college, back to his usual busy city life. It was minutes before he was snoring. However, in the middle of the night, Glenn started to feel sweaty and hot. There was a numb pain in his head. Feeling drowsy and extremely heavy, Glenn dragged himself to the bathroom. He turned on the lights and hunched over the sink. Suddenly, something caught his eye in the reflection. Glenn stumbled back and held his face. He furrowed his brows and stared at himself in the mirror. What is this? Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting. Wow, getting here was pretty convenient with the new bus stop opening. Yeah, but nobody comes to this park. It's absolutely secluded, so we're good to go. You brought enough of the herb, right? Are you sure it's gonna be safe? I can't get caught with this. Don't worry, this park used to be abandoned. Not a lot of people come here as is. Kevin, Sean, and Dean got off the bus on their way to the Sunrise Park. The night was chilly. The boys zipped up their jackets and pulled up their hoodies as they jumped over the fence, walking towards the gates. Come on, dude, light one. Gotta warm up. You're gonna pay for this next time. The guy took way too much money for this. I told you the dealer on the other side of town was better. Just as the boys entered the park and were about to take out their secret stash, Kevin noticed someone sitting on one of the benches ahead. Hey, look over there. What is she doing here at this time of the night? Does it really matter? She looks hot. And alone. Let's go. Kevin took out his mask. Gotta follow the rules in times like this, keeping distance from everyone. Sean and Dean noticed the girl turn to look at them. She had her face covered with a scarf. The boys walked down the path and took a seat on the bench next to hers. The girl passed a glance at Kevin before she got up and walked on. Feisty, so she wants some privacy. The boys laughed and joked as they ran to catch up to her. Hey there, how you doing? Are you guys following me? Do you think I'm beautiful? We just want to be friends with you. Why don't you join us, gorgeous? We'll have a fun time tonight. I think you're beautiful. You're calling me beautiful, but you haven't seen my face. Then show us your face. Just because of the pandemic doesn't mean we can't be friends. We're all wearing masks. Yeah, we'll take our chances. The girl stared at the boys, all desperate to get a glimpse of her face. Do you still think I'm beautiful? No. No, no! Horrified by what he saw, Sean ran for his life towards the gates. But the minute he looked back, he saw the girl just inches away from him, throw him onto the ground. Do you think I'm beautiful? Yes, yes. It was early the next morning that the BIIPD in Gold River, Sacramento County was shocked to find 3 young men, identified as Kevin Jackson, Dean Miller, and Sean Wilson, lifeless inside the Sunrise Park. 2 of the boys died from having their throats slit, and the other one was found far off. His face was sliced open. Who could do something like this? This is gruesome. Officer Jason Reeves was at the precinct in East Sacramento when one of his fellow colleagues knocked on his door. James, come in. Jason, did you hear about the 3 bodies found in Sunrise Park? I haven't gone in on the details, but I've heard. Do you know who the victims are? Why? One of them is your cousin, Kevin Jackson. He's been taken to the hospital. Maybe you should go. Officer Reeves stood up, shaking his head. I warned him not to get himself involved with those kind of friends. When Officer Reeves arrived at the morgue, he was shocked by Kevin's condition. Whoever could do something like this knew no mercy. He immediately inquired the officers present at the crime scene about the security footage from the previous night. This is all we were able to recover. The footage is static, it's hard to make out anything. But we can see the 3 young men walking into the park. It seemed that they were talking to someone, but there's no one but them in the entire park. Are these cameras from the 90s? Yes, this park has been abandoned for years now. There were only a few cameras installed in the area in the 90s. Perhaps that's the reason behind them malfunctioning. When the investigation at the crime scene didn't lead to any evidence, the BIIPD assigned 2 undercops, Samuel Sanders and Robert Murray, for surveillance in the area for the following week. I'll give a round outside the park. Okay, I'll patrol inside. Officer Murray was walking around the boundaries of the park, keeping an eye on the folk who traveled to and from the area. It was sometime in the middle of the night that he suddenly heard his partner scream from inside the park. He ran as fast as he could, jumping over the fence and into the park. When he caught sight of Officer Samuel on the ground, he immediately called for backup as he rushed to help him. Officer Murray was horrified when he turned his partner around to see his face sliced from his mouth to his cheek. How did this happen? Who did this? Who did you see? It was a woman. Her face was... Officer Samuel struggled to lift his finger, tracing along his mouth before it fell lifeless to the ground. Officer down, immediate backup required. When Officer Jason Reeves received news of the 4th attack at Sunrise Park, he knew this wasn't just any petty crime. To take down an officer armed and equipped, there had to be something more to this. So he immediately traveled to the scene and spoke to the surviving officer.
What happened here?
I don't know. We both thought the park was empty. I was patrolling outside when I heard him scream. By the time I arrived, he was in a horrible condition. The only thing he could say before he passed away was that it was a woman, but there was no one else here. A woman? What is going on here? After the incident, Officer Reeves started looking into the case himself. He searched up all the records of similar crimes in and around Sunrise Park. That's when he was surprised to find out reoccurring incidents of attacks in which victims were sliced in 1955, more than 60 years ago. Soon after the incidents, the park became defamed and eventually was closed and abandoned. It was only recently, after a new bus station had opened about a week prior, that people began visiting the park once again, and the murders too began. And of all similarities among the victims, be that from 1955 or now, they were all men. As for the signature, all these men were slashed either across their necks or their faces. Remembering the last words of Officer Sanders before his death, Officer Reeves began researching the significance of these facial features. Why did this killer use this method? That's when he discovered a rather disturbing and strange legend from Japan about a slit-mouthed woman, Kuchi Sakona. There was once a beautiful woman who was wedded to an honored samurai. However, she was caught being unfaithful to her husband, and as punishment for her infidelity, the samurai sliced the corners of her mouth from ear to ear and took her life. After her death, the woman returned as a vengeful spirit. She covers her grisly mouth with a cloth or a mask, carries a sharp knife or a large pair of scissors with her. She appears at night to men in seclusion and asks them if they think she is beautiful. If the victim answers yes, she pulls off her mask,
Revealing her mouth.
Then she asks again, is she beautiful? If her victim answers no or screams in fear, she slashes his throat, taking his life. And for those who answer yes, she slits their face from ear to ear in an imitation of her own mutilation. The only way to survive an encounter with the Kuchi Sakona is by answering her question with another question or distracting her in conversation. Upon reading the legend, Officer Reeves was confused. This legend is from Japan. How or why would this happen in Sacramento? There was only one way to get to the bottom of this mysterious case. He would go himself and spend a night at the Sunrise Park. The following evening, Officer Reeves arrived at the park, just about when everyone was heading back home. He walked down the path, observing the last of the people, trying to spot anyone suspicious. But it was quite difficult in times like these, with everyone wearing face masks. When the last person had left out the gates, Officer Reeves began his night patrol. At around 10 p.m., the winds started to pick up, and the weather became awfully foggy and chilly. Officer Reeves took out his flask and sipped on his coffee as he walked down the path, scanning the area. It was silent, as if isolated from the rest of the world. Moments later, Officer Reeves suddenly started to feel moist drops of rain splatter onto him. He pulled up his jacket hoodie and ran to a dry spot under one of the many oak trees. He looked up at the skies as the thunder started to rumble. What a day for a storm, he sighed. He stood there under the shade of the tree until the skies cleared out again past midnight, but it seemed the storm had yet to end. From all the incidents that he had researched so far, they had all occurred late into the night. He stepped out from under the tree and began walking down the path again, when suddenly he noticed a figure sitting on one of the benches in the distance. As he neared, he saw the young woman, but as soon as she turned around and gazed at him, he knew exactly what she was. "Are you following me?" she asked innocently. "Miss, what are you doing here at this hour of the night? Do you think I'm beautiful? It is really not safe to be here at this time. Do you think I'm beautiful? Miss, I don't know how you look. Do you want to see my face? Miss, where do you live?" The young woman lifted her hand and took off her scarf. Officer Reeves' heart started to pound as he stared at the woman's face. He had never seen something so gruesome, so grotesque, speaking to him, staring into his eyes. But he knew if he allowed his fear to overcome him, he wouldn't survive this encounter. Keeping his composure as if he were unbothered, he continued to ask the woman, "Miss, tell me where you live. I can escort you home." All of a sudden, the rain started to pour heavily, and the strong gusts of wind shook the trees. Officer Reeves stared at the branches begin to sway vigorously. What was happening? But just when he turned to look back at the woman, she was no longer there. He quickly scanned the area, searching for her, when he caught a glimpse of the woman walking towards the woods in the corner of the park. "Where are you going?" Officer Reeves started to run after her, but before he could reach anywhere near, she vanished into the woods. And at once, the heavy gust of wind, the rain, the strange eeriness in the air suddenly stopped. It was 5 a.m. The sky started to change as it neared the time for sunrise. Officer Reeves walked to the spot where he saw the young woman vanish. In the mud and the grass, he took out his multi-tool and began digging up the soil. And just moments into unearthing the ground, he was disturbed to find some bones, and with it, a knife. He picked it up and began brushing the dirt away. This wasn't an ordinary knife. There were Japanese symbols on it. What is a Japanese knife doing over here? It was nearly 70 years ago that an American woman named Vera Anderson lived in this town. She was known for her breathtaking beauty and took pride in her looks. Unsurprisingly, many men fancied her, and she took delight in all the attention she received. However, it was one day that she met a Japanese man named Akira Takamori, and it wasn't before long that the two seemingly fell in love. They got married and started a new life together. But soon after, Akira found out Vera was cheating on him. He was shattered and heartbroken. He didn't want to believe his wife could do such a thing. He belonged to an honorable family, and for his wife to be caught as a disloyal betrayer was a matter of shame. Akira tried to give Vera the benefit of doubt. But as the days passed, it became clear that she was hiding something from him, and it was one day that Akira caught her red-handed. He was too enraged and too hurt to say anything at the time. But when night fell, he sought revenge, and he sought justice. He took out his knife and enchanted a prayer on it. Before he returned to his wife late in the night, he slit her face from ear to ear as a punishment for the arrogance and pride she had for her looks. He then took her life for betraying him. It was on that dark night in 1955 that Akira Takamori buried the remains of his wife in this park, and it had been 70 years since Vera's spirit wandered restlessly, seeking vengeance for her life. Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.
William Cavell is a successful archaeologist and a professor at the BII University. And when he's not taking his classes, he is always on an adventure. Sometimes treasure hunting in the Amazon, sometimes exploring rural villages in Africa, or sometimes on an indigenous island of Polynesia. Hasta la vista, baby. But no adventure compares to the last adventure William has been on, to the outskirts of Sumer. After the discovery of an ancient underground chamber of Ishtar, the goddess of the sacred fire, the BII Historical Association initiated a competition, calling archaeologists globally to go on a scavenging hunt into the elaborate underground chamber to find the alleged secret temple. As always, William was one step ahead in venturing out and exploring hidden underground chambers, possibly entrenched with impending doom. However, this adventure of his turned out to be less troublesome, and William rather easily reached his goal. But things haven't been the same for him since. After William's last trip to Sumer, he has changed. The man who loved traveling and having fun was now always at home, immersed in his thoughts. The man who enjoyed his time with women never dated anyone but the best, from supermodels to actresses. Now, all of a sudden, had no interest in women. And in all this, his young and beautiful girlfriend, Celine, was starting to get fed up. Since William returned, he hasn't even as much as looked at her, let alone spent some time with her. And Celine was burning for attention. All she ever saw him do was stare out the window or into open space, thinking. Now and then he went into his study and looked at something he brought back. But whenever she came around, he quickly put it away and never let her see. But what Celine found the most strange was when she would wake up in the middle of the night to whispers. William would be out on the balcony, talking. "William, who are you talking to?" No one. It's nothing." And now, 1 month into being with the new William, Celine couldn't take it anymore. When she started dating him, she thought she would be traveling the world, going on adventures. But now, here she was, a boring housewife of a boring college professor, cooking for him, cleaning the house, and doing his laundry. So Celine decided to finally open up about it. William, are you even listening to me?" "What? What is the matter with you? You've been behaving so strange lately, it's like you're not you anymore." "What are you talking about? Who do you keep talking to? What is that you've been hiding from me?" Seeing William silent, Celine went on and on. "You know, Harvey asked me out on a date. Maybe I should date him. Maybe he will pay me attention, treat me better." William suddenly looked at her. "You know something? You're right. You should date him." "What? William, what are you saying? Are you breaking up with me?" Exactly. Celine couldn't believe what she was hearing. William was breaking up with her. Her! Celine had never been rejected in her life, but now it was happening. William did break up with her, because for the past few days, he had someone else on his mind. Olivia, one of his colleagues, a chemistry professor. She was very young. In fact, she used to be a very bright student at the university. And immediately after graduation, she got this position. Olivia wasn't like any girl William has ever dated. And probably she hasn't even dated anyone herself or been in a relationship. Olivia is shy and quiet, never around too many people or friends. "Hello." Olivia picked up her eyes from her book, suddenly becoming conscious seeing William. Is he talking to me? Me?
Yes, I wanted to discuss some things with you relating a carbon dating test. Olivia straightened her glasses, trying not to blush. I thought you never noticed me. Oh, of course. How may I help you, Dr. Cabell? No. Call me William. And how about we talk over coffee tomorrow evening? Sure. Olivia was more than nervous and jittery seeing William smile at her. No man has ever given her any attention. And now William, the most handsome professor at the BII University, required her assistance? Wow. The next evening, Olivia got every book and every paper she had on carbon dating and arrived at the lakeside restaurant to find William waiting for her. As she went to sit, he pulled out her chair. Good evening. Thank you. Too nervous to hold eye contact, Olivia opened her book. So the first thing we do when carbon dating an item is... A while into listening to her, William closed her book. Actually, I didn't call you here for your academic credentials. I know you are very credible in your field, but I called you for a different reason. Why else? I didn't know how to tell you that I wanted to spend some time with you. Listening to William, Olivia was head over heels. She knew William always dated the most gorgeous, beautiful girls. But now he was taking interest in her? Olivia didn't know what to say, but smile. And that was the beginning of their friendship and their relationship. But even after dating for some time, William was still taking things very slow. Why is he taking things so slow? Why does he keep himself so distant from me? Or is he just staying away from me because he's figured? So it was one night at William's place. Olivia gathered up the courage and confronted him. William, we need to talk. What is it? You don't have to keep yourself so distant from me. I've always been a little shy and I grew up in a conservative household. I've never been in a relationship, but ever since I've been with you, I think I'm ready. William chuckled, looking at Olivia. It's not that. I've realized all my life, all I've done is chase after superficial girls. You can have fun and excitement with them, but you can never be happy. And I want to be happy. I want to be with you, and you're not like them. William picked up a brochure from the table and handed it to her. I was planning on a tour. I was wondering if you would like to come with me? Wow. Yes, of course. Olivia wasn't expecting this, but even this was a big step to take. This relationship was getting serious after all. So that weekend, Olivia and William caught an international flight, and so their adventure began. After reaching Sumer, William and Olivia spent 2 nights at a hotel in the city. Before William rented a Jeep, and they drove far out to the outskirts, where they camped. This is so much better than staying in the crowded city. I know, it's peaceful out here. That evening, Olivia prepared the fire, and William got some kebabs going. The atmosphere was just perfect. As night fell, the beautiful full moon rose in the dark skies as Olivia and William sat watching the stars. Come, I'll show you something. Where are we going? There's a temple nearby. It's an old temple of the goddess Ishtar. Oh, I've read a little about her. Ishtar is like the equivalent of the Roman goddess Vesta. Following William through the dark night, they soon reached the ruins of the temple grounds, where William climbed down into an opening. It's underground. Yes, don't worry, I'm with you. Walking down the cold tunnels, Olivia was rather excited. She had never experienced anything this thrilling before. Reaching a narrow entrance, William and Olivia scooted into a dark room. What is this, William? William walked up to one of the stone compartments and pushed it open. Olivia stumbled back in horror, seeing a headless skeleton. It's a coffin. But then, William took out the missing head from his bag. William, what are you doing? Olivia was petrified as William tied her up and began preparing a fire at the center of the room. William, what has gotten into you? What are you doing? Please, untie me. But William didn't listen. He went to the corner of the wall and pulled out a brick. To reveal a book. Bringing it towards the fire, he began chanting something. Seeing the fire burn greater, Olivia's heart raced. William, what are you doing? What is happening? And soon, she started to feel her conscience leaving her. William? William? As William continued to chant, Olivia's body slowly immersed to sand, as the skeleton that lay in the coffin returned back to life from dust. A beautiful woman opened her eyes and got up, standing before him. He kneeled. Welcome, my mistress. Centuries ago, in the ancient city of Sumer, the people believed the fate and security of the city lay in the power of their goddess Ishtar. At the temple of Ishtar burnt the sacred fire, which assured the security of Sumer so long as it was kept alive. And for that was chosen virgin women who acted as priestesses of Ishtar. Vivian dedicated her life to serving Ishtar as her oracle and priestess, and Sumer saw years of peace and prosperity. But it was when Persian foreigners called an attack on Sumer, invading their lands, the city fell into devastation. Vivian predicted 100 years of suffering at the hands of the Persians. So to preserve the sanctity of the temple and save herself and her priestesses from humiliation at the hands of the enemy and protect their purity, she ordered their self-sacrifice. Vivian and the priestesses of Ishtar were then buried alive
in the chamber beneath the temple. And that night, when William discovered the secret chamber, he found Vivian's resting place. When he took her skeleton in his hands, he suddenly entered a different realm. A realm in which he saw the most beautiful woman, the most irresistible woman in the world. Who are you? I am the Oracle of Ishtar. William was enchanted by her beauty. You are my goddess. I want to be with you. If you want me, you have to resurrect me. Resurrect? Yes, resurrect. How will I resurrect you? You must bring a woman who is pure in heart and mind. She must fall in love with you, and then you have to sacrifice her for me. It shall be so. Promising Vivian to resurrect her, William returned home with her skull, where he spent days and nights pondering, consulting with her on what to do. She is impure. She cannot take my place. Perhaps I should go to a rural place. Where will I find someone like that in the city? One who is truly pure will remain pure, even when put to temptation. So William continued to search, until his eyes fell upon Olivia. Getting to know a little about her, William was sure she was the perfect one. So, taking advantage of her innocence, her insecurities, and her vulnerabilities, he manipulated her to come with him to Sumer, where he could sacrifice her to be with his mistress. Mistress, how may I serve you?
Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting. Conrad, Luke, and Peter were all heading out for lunch during their break. They worked at a cement plant in the small town of El Paso in Texas, near the wetlands of Rio Bosque Park. In very recent days, the factory had lost a few of their workers under strange circumstances. And Peter, of all, had been awfully stressed about the loss. Tony and Hugh were of those who passed away. They were part of Peter, Conrad, and Luke's group, and suddenly not seeing them around was troubling and traumatic. We should have never messed around with them. What we did wasn't right. What's happened to you all of a sudden, Peter? Why are you behaving like this? Something isn't right. I spoke to Tony's wife yesterday. She told me some strange things about Tony's last moments. Don't you think you're meddling in the matter a bit too much, Peter? Leave it and move on. Let Boss hear this. She's going to be pissed. I don't think you want her Rottweilers chasing you. You remember what she did to the last men that went against her orders? Her dogs are vicious. Those men needed their limbs amputated. I don't care what Marcy will do. This isn't something I can overlook. Conrad, just hear me out. Tony passed away from a heart attack. He saw something that scared him so much he couldn't take it. Anne, get up! Anne! Tony? What happened? Look at you, you're sweating. What's wrong, Tony? Why are you behaving like this? Try to breathe. I'll call an ambulance. No, Anne, listen to me. I saw something. Something in the house. Look at the water. It can happen to anyone. A horrible nightmare. Probably he was stressed out. Sure, it was untimely, but it was a natural demise. And what will you say about Hugh? How can someone drown in their own bed? The police found his lungs filled with water. They found strange, murky water in his apartment, and in Tony's house too. How can you say these were natural deaths? Luke, don't you understand where the water is coming from? It's a sign. What are you trying to say? They saw a freaking ghost? That's nothing but bull, Peter. Don't bring your superstitions into this. It was no ghost. There was something otherworldly there. What? Listen, Peter. Conrad is right. Have patience. The police will eventually find a logical explanation behind it all. But something supernatural? Really? This doesn't make sense. This is all a repercussion of that night. I had a bad feeling since the moment we... Listen, Peter, just shut up. We'll get caught because of you. And if you don't stop this nonsense, you won't need no spook to come and kill you. I'll do it myself. It's all right, Conrad, calm down. And Peter, keep it real, man, chill out. Luke patted Peter on the back before he and Conrad got up to get back to work. The rest of the day at the factory went by awfully stressful for Peter. As soon as his shift was over, he hurried to get home and checked all the locks on his windows and doors. He needed relief, but the paranoia that ran within him wouldn't let him rest. Peter neither took a shower nor went anywhere near water for the past days. His head hurt, and it was difficult to sleep like this, but after much time, he finally dozed off. Sometime around 1 a.m., Peter woke up to a sudden noise in his hallway. He sat up startled to the sound of wet footsteps coming nearer and nearer to his room. He had no doubt that someone else, or something else, was in the apartment. In a panic, he ran out his room, too afraid to even look around. But as soon as he heard the footsteps nearing him down the hall, he could think of only one way to save himself. He went to the kitchen and set a fire around him. He wasn't going to drown to his end like Hugh. He wouldn't let water get anywhere near him. Peter stood there in the center of the fire, trembling as he saw a figure approach him out of the darkness. No, you can't do anything to me. You can't. Sometime around 2 a.m., the fire department received numerous calls from an apartment complex on the east side of town. They rushed to the emergency and extinguished the fire that had spread in one of the apartments. This is so unusual. I've never seen anyone burnt so badly. Did he not even try to escape? Rather, it looks like he deliberately spilled oil on himself, which fueled the fire even more. His name was Peter Kaufman. He worked at the nearby cement plant. None of this makes sense. Other people who used to work there recently passed away. You think this is linked to those cases? I don't know what is going on, but this is all very strange. When Luke and Conrad got news of Peter's sudden demise, they could no longer overlook the strange occurrences that had happened in the past week. Conrad, maybe Peter was right. This has all been happening since that night. You think he's come back to get rid of us? No, don't be a fool. It can't be him. He's gone for good. Someone else is behind this. We just have to figure who. What are we going to do? We'll guard the warehouse tonight. Make preparations. If need be, we'll get rid of this guy. That night, after the cement plant was closed, Luke and Conrad returned to the warehouse. They intentionally made it apparent that someone was inside. However, they hid out on the rooftop and kept a lookout for anyone who tried to trespass onto the factory premises. If there was someone targeting them, this was to be the perfect opportunity for him to bait them, or to become the bait himself. Stay awake, Luke. You risk tonight, you risk your life. I don't think we need to, Conrad. What is he doing here at this time? Doesn't he work here? Oh, so he's the one behind this. He thinks he's smart, huh? Two can play at that game. Conrad and Luke had spotted Ian Graham, one of the inspection officers at the cement plant. "Get ready, let's teach this guy a lesson," Conrad said. "No man, I'm not going near the swamp." "Shut up and do what I told you, unless you want Marcy to find out we were careless and now someone is onto us. She's not going to spare either of us, so then man up and arm yourself." Conrad and Luke sneaked down to the warehouse. "I thought I saw someone go out to the back. I'll go check. You stay here just in case, and do not hesitate to take action." With that, Conrad clutched onto his gun as he stepped out of the warehouse. The area was quiet, but Conrad couldn't ignore the feeling that he wasn't alone. "You can't hide from me." As he walked a bit further, he suddenly smelled something odd. He felt something moist under his shoe. Horrified to see the concrete ground wet with footsteps, he anxiously followed the trail around the warehouse when he suddenly heard a scream from inside. Conrad hurried to the front entrance, but just from a glimpse inside, he broke out into a cold sweat. The wet trail under Conrad's feet led up to a dark figure that stood over Luke's motionless body on the ground. In sheer anxiety, Conrad ran out to his car, absolutely petrified by what he saw. He had to get out of here, but he couldn't return home. He had to get away from this place, away from this town, and most importantly, away from any source of water. Conrad drove out to the mountainside. He spent the night in the darkness of the woods that spread over the rocky cliffs of North Franklin Mountain. Once morning came, he traveled further up, away from any river or stream in the area. It was around the afternoon when he reached a good spot and set up a fire and a small shelter. Conrad was fatigued, but the thought that he would be safe here finally gave him some peace of mind. No one was around for miles, and neither could anyone get here easily. As the sun set, he lay down on the rocky, barren ground and soon dozed off. However, hunger and discomfort got the best of him, and he remained tossing and turning as the long hours passed. He checked his watch. It was only 10. The whole night was ahead of him. Conrad looked out to the skies, when suddenly he heard a rustle in the trees far in the distance. He jumped up, his heart beating fast. Seeing that dark figure far ahead, as the figure approached him, Conrad was horrified to see a familiar face once again, but something about that face wasn't right. It wasn't normal. How could this be? How could he be alive? Conrad, Luke, Peter, Tony, and Hugh all worked side by side as laborers at the cement plant, but the job was in no way worth the minimum wage they received. However, the men had no complaint, because they had chosen this specific job at this specific location for a specific cause. It was the perfect job to disguise their actual motives of running an illegal business hidden within the boundaries of the cement plant. All packages were tightly sealed and hidden within numerous cement bags that were exported to various outlets where their dealers would pick up the concealed goods. No one suspected them of such a crime. Rather, they received much respect and generosity of being hard-working laborers at the factory. "Good morning, men. How is everything going?" I heard the machinery has been acting up lately. Mr. Engineer, what's up, man? Take a break. Everything is fine. We never see you sit down even once. Well, gotta do my job. Safety first for you fellow workers. Take it easy, man. We all need a break. You're a bachelor, aren't you? I was taking my family to the lakeside this weekend. You can join. Hey, fishing always takes things off the mind, eh? Oh, no, but thank you. I don't really get onto boats. I don't know how to swim. No worries, it will be a chance to teach the engineer something for a change. The men kept good relations with the staff at the cement plant. They all maintained a dual life where no one suspected them of anything. However, it was one night that things went a little out of plan when someone showed up at the wrong place at the wrong time. Engineer Craig Carlson had stayed overtime to deal with some malfunctions with the machinery. It was around 10 at night when he spotted some workers in the warehouse and followed to inquire the matter. As far as he knew, no one was supposed to be here at this time. Conrad? Peter? What is going on here? What are you men putting into the cement bags? Mr. Engineer, the question should be, what are you doing here? You shouldn't be where you don't belong. What do you mean? What are you people doing? Stay away from me. Let go. Boss, looks like we've got a little issue here at the warehouse. What's wrong? Have the supplies gotten damaged? No, it's not that. We've got an unwanted visitor here. But don't worry, we've got him under control. What should we do with him? Is this something you have to waste my time for? Don't call me for these petty reasons. You know what to do. Get rid of him. Conrad was horrified to see none other than Craig Carlson coming his way, but this was no spook, nor a spirit, nor could he be anything human or living. No, get away from me! Conrad yelled in fear as he ran the other way. He looked back last time, petrified to see Craig limping towards him. There was only one thing he could do to save himself. Conrad closed his eyes and jumped. You can't fight against what's neither living nor dead. Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.
Not you too, Max. My mother, she has been like this for the last 3 days. My mother, she can sense evil. But things weren't always like this. Almost 16 years ago, my mother and my father met at a carnival here in Blackwell. My mother knows how to interpret zodiac and tell people their past, present, and future. That night, my father had come to the carnival with his fiancée and visited my mother on her insistence. But even though they were soon to be married, when my father saw my mother, he felt something different. It was almost like love at first sight. Tell us about our future. When will we get married? My father's fiancée excitedly asked my mother all kinds of questions. But what she didn't know was that my mother truly had powers. And my mother knew she wasn't faithful to my father. She was simply using him and had no honest feelings for him. Has there been any loss of life in your life recently? No? My mom, dad, my brother, everyone's fine. Or maybe loss of life of an unborn? No. Rachel, are you all right? Is this true? Richard, I was about to tell you. What? What do you mean you were about to tell me? We're engaged. We're getting married. And you didn't tell me our child is... My father and his fiancée were expecting a child. So they had gotten engaged and planned to get married soon. But not only did his fiancée not tell him she miscarried the child, she lied. My father found out she had actually aborted the child and used his pregnancy to manipulate him to marry her. So he broke off the marriage. It was a low time for him, and it was one of those days. One night, he returned to meet my mother. I had a feeling you would come. Really? Then tell me, why am I here? I don't know. With all your powers, you couldn't figure how I felt about you? I guess certain things are above all powers. They both looked at each other and knew they had fallen in love with each other. My mother and father soon got married. They had a beautiful relationship. At first, my father was intrigued by my mother's strange lifestyle, her charms and her prayers. But soon, my father realized her superstitions weren't just superstitions. My mother strongly believed in spirits, and she maintained certain practices and rituals. The more my father got to see this side of my mother, the more he started to feel strange about it all. It was one of these days, my father and mother happened to meet one of his old friends at a party. When my father went to introduce my mother, she suddenly got scared of the man. Is everything all right? Richard, can we go home? What happened? Why did you get so scared seeing Jeffrey? When he spoke to me, I had a vision. I saw... My mother told my father she saw things that no one could. His friend was involved in dark things, in the wrong kinds of business. And although my father didn't know the details,
He knew my mother might have been saying the truth, because Jeffrey had been involved with bad company. But how could anyone know so much? Marissa, you have to stop all this. It's affecting you. You'll never be able to live a normal life like this. My father had my mother stop her calculations, her rituals, charms, and practices. He had her move everything away. And with the start of this new life, things seemed to get better. My mother started living a normal life and their relationship got stronger. But 2 years later, when my mother got pregnant with me, she couldn't help but go back to her old ways. In her family, they believed those who were born under certain zodiac constellations were blessed with good, and those who were born on the other zodiac constellation were cursed with evil. She knew my father wouldn't believe any of this, but she had to know. So one night, while my father was asleep, she took out her zodiac calendar and calculated my birth. No. Marissa, what are you doing? You took these all out again? I thought you left that life. Richard, you have to believe me. Our child will be born on the last day of October, but she has to be born before midnight, or she'll be cursed. Marissa, stop all this. My father was upset seeing my mother's condition. She was panicked and distraught. But just as she said, it was on the last night of October, she suddenly went into labor. Richard, we need to go to the hospital right now. This child has to be born before midnight. All right, take it easy, let's go. It was around 10 when my father brought my mother to the hospital. But by then, my mother couldn't bear the pain. She kept telling my father, Richard, before midnight. Before midnight. It was 3 a.m. when my mother woke up. She had delivered me. Marissa, we have a daughter. Was she born before midnight? Yes, don't worry. She was born before midnight. Oh, thank goodness. My mother was relieved knowing everything had gone fine after all. And the years went by beautifully. I grew up in love and care. But it was when I turned 9 years old. One night, I experienced something unusual. I had become a woman. And it was soon after that, my mother began experiencing strange nightmares. No. Marissa, what happened? Richard, I'm sensing something evil has to happen. Something evil. What? Marissa, it was just a dream. Calm down. After all those years, my father began noticing my mother getting involved in all those things again. She was blessing the house, performing rituals, and constantly making her zodiac calculations. And it was one night. My father woke up to her speaking with someone by the window. She was speaking in a different language. He was horrified to see her eyes had become white. Marissa, who are you talking to?
do you mean nothing? You have to stop doing all this. I can't stop, Richard. I can't. It's not in my power. I'm doing whatever I can to protect our family. You're not protecting us. You're only harming yourself and harming us. And if this is how it's going to be, then perhaps we shouldn't continue this relationship. My father and mother started to have arguments. The relationship got strained. And in all this, my father couldn't make my mother stop what she was doing. And things only got worse. My mother began having premonitions, visions, and sometimes she couldn't control herself. Here's your medicine. You're a fraud. You've been taking advantage of people's ignorance. This isn't medicine. What are you talking about, lady? Marissa, stop it. He's a fraud, Richard. He's a fraud. He's evil. When things got out of hand, my father couldn't take it anymore. My mother's strange habits weren't just limited to the house now, but others had started to know, started to talk about her. So one night, he decided to leave. Soon, I'll take you with me. And now it has been a week, and for the last 2 days, my mother's condition has worsened. My mother, she's always speaking to someone. Strange things have been happening in the house. It's always cold. It feels like it's not just me and my mother. Max had been scared for the past few days, and now he's no more. Hearing her mother scream, Mel rushed to her room to see her mother wrench in bed. Seeing her mother suffer, she couldn't take it. She had to do something. Mel, what happened? Everything's fine, Mom. Try to rest. You haven't slept in a week. It wasn't my mother. It was me all along who had been attracting the evil. My father lied to my mother that night. The night I was born, my mother's powers were weak because she had kept herself away from her rituals and charms. Otherwise, she would have known. I was born on an evil night. My wife, she's really superstitious. If she learns our child was born past midnight, I don't know what she might end up doing. It's just a matter of a few minutes. All right, we'll make it before midnight.
Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.
Mom, may I have ice cream? Sure, sweetheart. Ice cream man, stop! Stop! One chocolate and vanilla swirl with rainbow sprinkles, please. But I'm all out of chocolate. It'll take a while to make more, and I'm really in a hurry. Please, ice cream man, will you make me a last one? Okay, why don't you come in and help me, and I'll make it for you. All done. Try it out. It tastes good. I'm not feeling so good. Stefan is only 22 years old. But for the past 4 years, he has been running his grandfather's ice cream truck. When Stefan was only 3, his mother ran away with her secret boyfriend, and his father abandoned him, and Stefan was left to his grandparents. But even his grandfather passed away some years later, and Stefan was raised by his grandmother Patty. Though grandmother Patty was loving, at her old age, suffering from dementia, deteriorating eyesight, Stefan practically grew up uncared for and had the worst childhood. Being a poor student, his teachers were mean with him, the kids at school teased him, and once Stefan reached his teens, even the girls didn't pay him any attention, and instead insulted him. Stefan was always the odd one out, without friends, without a girlfriend. And eventually, when Grandma Patty's condition worsened, Stefan had to start working at a very young age to provide for them. And ever since, he had been running his grandfather's ice cream truck, with which he often came to the park and watched the kids play, imagining if only he could have had a life like that. It was at the park Stefan first saw Jessica. She was the only child to her parents, who loved her and even spoiled her. They could never imagine one day they'd lose her. Jessica woke up feeling a throbbing pain in her head. She sat up to find herself in what looked like a basement. The room was small and damp. There was leaking plumbing along the concrete walls, a torn-up sofa to the side, a flimsy chair and an old table, and a small TV propped on it. And to the far corner, a toilet and a sink. Jessica anxiously got up and went to the door. It was locked. There weren't even windows. There was no way to get out. Help! Help! But as much as she cried, no one could hear her. Jessica crouched to the corner of the room, crying, wondering what she would do, when she heard a noise by the door. It opened, and there was Stefan, carrying some pizza and fried chicken. "Look what I brought you." "Why? Why did you bring me here? I want to go home." "But this is home." "This isn't my home. Who are you?" "I'm your friend." "You're not my friend. You're the ice cream guy. Let me go." Jessica got up and ran towards the door.
but Stefan quickly locked it shut. She kicked and yelled, "Open the door! Let me go!" But it wasn't until she calmed down that Stefan opened again. "You haven't even seen what I brought for you." In her rage, Jessica took the food and threw it down. She picked up the flimsy chair and threw it at Stefan, hitting his head. As a drop of blood trickled down his face, Stefan wiped it off, staring at his red fingers. Suddenly, he became teary. "I brought all this for you, so you would be happy. And this is how you treat me? This is how you treat your friend?" Jessica fell quiet, seeing how strange Stefan was behaving. He was a grown man, yet he was crying like this. "You don't love me, do you? Fine, I'll never come here again." With that, Stefan took everything and left, locking Jessica inside. Jessica tried yelling for help, to no avail. Hours went by, in which she cried, but would anyone ever know she was here? What's that noise? Stefan, are you crying, dear? "I'm not crying, Grandma. You must have heard something else. My hearing these days." 3 days went by, and Jessica was locked up in the basement. Her voice had faded out. In thirst, she drank from the small dirty sink. But now, hunger had gotten the best of her. Jessica lay on the cold floor as her vision blurred out, staring at the wall ahead. She noticed a small hole. Stefan was watching her. In desperation, Jessica dragged herself to the wall and whispered, "Friend, I'm sorry. I'm really hungry," as Jessica cried, begging to him. A while later, the door opened, and Stefan stepped inside with a can of beans and some bread. Jessica hurried to take it, but Stefan stepped away. Promise me you will never treat me like that again." In extreme hunger, Jessica said, "I promise, I won't." As soon as Stefan gave her the food, Jessica tore open the packet and began eating. Stefan sat down and watched her curiously. "My beast." From then on, Stefan began regularly visiting Jessica, bringing her food and spending time with her. "Stefan, is that you?" "Yes, Grandma." "Who were you talking with? I thought I saw someone." "No one, Grandma. You need to get new glasses." "Oh, don't bother about it. One of these days I'm gonna go blind." As each day passed, Jessica humored Stefan when he came, and when he left. She searched around the room to find her escape, but apart from a small crack that let her see out, there was no way. And eventually, Jessica gave up. Every now and then, Stefan brought her comic books to read. Beauty and the Beast comics? You will act it out for me, Beast. If I'm Beast, then who's Beauty? I'll be Beauty. You? Sometimes he let her watch movies on the small TV. Beast, look what I got for you, the new Black Widow movie. Black Widow? I love her comics. Thanks, Beauty. And on special days, Stefan even got her costumes so she could roleplay. Beauty, you got me a Scarlet Witch costume? I love it! Come on, Beast. Entertain me. Hold on, I'll wear it right now. How do I look? You look just like her. Beautiful. This is your life now, with me. Stop lying to me. This, all of this, is for us, so let me handle it. What is outside of Chesterville? You don't want to know, I promise you. No, you don't get to make that choice for me, Wanda. You've never talked to me like this before. Before what? Before what? I can't remember my life before Chesterville. I don't know who I am. I'm scared. You are my husband, Beauty. Then where are our children, Beast? Jessica had been living locked up in Stefan's basement. Now, this had truly become her home. She wasn't allowed out, and she didn't want to go out. All she did was watch out the small crack. Sometimes watching it rain, watching it sunshine, and waited for Stefan to return. On the other hand, Stefan stopped running the ice cream truck and got a job at a hardware store. Hey Stefan, what's up? I'm fine. Can you help me fix up the key forging machine? It's been stuck all morning. Sure. Thanks so much. You're the best, Stefan. This was Anna. Stefan met her when he started working here. And over the days, they had become friends. To say, Anna was Stefan's first friend. Anna found him shy, quiet, and sweet, always helping her out, and Stefan felt something he never felt before with her. The feeling of someone liking him without asking for it. Anna, do you want to hang out? Sure, I'm free this Friday. Where do you want to go? To my place? All right. Every Friday, Jessica would prepare herself, choose a costume to wear, and wait for Stefan. When she heard the front door open, she became eager for the moment his footsteps would come downstairs. But today, something was different. Grandma, this is Anna, my friend. Hello, dear. I thought this boy would never find a girl. Grandma, you're embarrassing me. It's all right. Your grandma's so sweet. Jessica watched everything through the small hole. Feeling strange, feeling angry. Who is she? Seeing Stefan take her upstairs. Jessica took off her costume and threw it aside. She plopped down on the sofa, listening to the muffled voices, the giggles. It wasn't hours till the front door closed again, and the house fell silent. Late that night, Stefan finally came downstairs. But as soon as he opened the door, Jessica pushed him back. Who was that, Stefan? Who was that? I'm not your friend anymore? No, you are my friend. Then who was she? No one. Who are you talking about? I saw her. You're mistaking something. No one even came over. Jessica picked up the glass on the table and threw it at him. You're lying to me. But when the glass hit Stefan, he stood shocked. "You said you would never treat me like that." As tears came to his eyes, Stefan opened the door. "I'll never be your friend again," he said before he locked her. But this time, Jessica was angry. She sat to the corner of the room without a word, without a movement. Thirst, hunger, nothing bothered her. Stefan quietly lay on the floor in the next room, watching her through the hole, waiting for her to break. But almost 5 days went by, and Jessica didn't call him. Impatient, Stefan neared the hole and said, "Friend, I'm sorry. I only love you. I don't love anyone else." Hearing his voice, Jessica finally dropped to the floor beside him. "I forgive you. Beast, Beauty, from today, I won't lock you up. I'll set you free." It was after 7 long years. Stefan opened the door and let Jessica step out. She followed him outside, feeling as if she were seeing daylight for the first time. Stefan took her out on walks in the rain, in the wind, under the beautiful skies, and suddenly Jessica felt so complete. But it was one day, Stefan gave her a bigger surprise. "Come on, Beast, we're going to go somewhere." "Where, Beauty? You'll see." Jessica sat down in Stefan's car, toying around with all the buttons. As they drove into the marketplace, she watched the stores, shops, all the people in amazement, until they stopped at a mall. "What are we doing here, Beauty? Pick anything you like." "Really? I love you, Beauty." Jessica excitedly went around the store, picking out the dresses she liked. But when she turned to show Stefan, she realized he wasn't there. "Beauty, where are you? Beauty?" Jessica frantically ran around the store as people began watching her. She went to the counter and asked the man, "Where did Beauty go?" "Beauty? Beauty was here. Beauty was here." Jessica began throwing things around in her anxiety as the employees tried to stop her. Kicked out of the store, Jessica stood on the crowded street, realizing Stefan wasn't here anymore. "I'll call you tonight. I'll be waiting. Bye." It has been 3 weeks since Stefan and Anna have been dating. This was his first real relationship, and Stefan couldn't be more content. In fact, he was hoping soon they would progress to something more. It would be a start of a new life. As the rain fell heavier on the roof, Stefan closed his eyes and fell asleep, happy and satisfied. But Jessica, after long, she finally found her way home. Sneaking in through the window, she slowly crept her way upstairs. She stood in front of Stefan's door, watching him, unaware as she caressed the knife in her hands. He was sleeping so sound. With the sound of a heavy bolt of lightning, Stefan suddenly woke up. startled to see Jessica standing in front of him. Beast? How did you get here? You got one thing right, beauty. I have become a beast. Hearing the sound of Stefan scream, Grandma Patty took her cane and rushed to his room. Stefan, dear, what happened? Why are you screaming? It's nothing, Grandma. I got scared of the lightning. What happened to your voice? Did you catch a cold? Back when you were a child, you used to be scared of everything. A little scrape on the knee, a small mouse, a cockroach. My grandson is so soft-hearted. All right, Grandma, you go to bed now. Good night. One chocolate vanilla swirl, please. What's your name? Stefan. But I'm all out.
Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting. Get that grin off your face and get in the car. Officer Simmons slammed the car door shut. Criminal arrested outside warehouse 4587 Riverside Avenue, Wellington, returning to Provo. Officer Carter spoke into his transceiver before he ushered his partner to the car. Come on, let's get back quick. We can't let this guy out of our sight. He's not going anywhere under my watch. He fled from the crime scene twice before. He has charges of theft, fraudulence, not to mention suspected for murder. He thinks he's smart too. He attempted to take my gun. I was looking into the case. I have no doubt he was involved. They found the young woman's remains in a garbage bag dropped in the dumpster behind his last hideout. Horrible condition. These kind of brutal crimes sickens me. I just don't know what goes on in the minds of people like him. But he's denying it. For goodness sake, he's a liar. That's all he is. It's gonna take almost 2 hours to get back to the station from here. Officer Simmons and Officer Carter got into the car and began driving down Route 6 that ran through the Manti-La Salle forest in Utah. It was earlier this evening that police department had gotten information of the hideout of a top wanted criminal, Tucker White. The man had spent time behind bars. However, he continued living a life of crime. The officers had found him possessing suspicious contents while hiding out in an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of Wellington. Fortunately, he was alone, and the two officers were easily able to subdue the armed criminal who attempted to flee. Officer Simmons kept peering at the man through the rearview mirror. His blood boiled in rage as he saw the man smirking as if he had no shame nor guilt for the acts he committed. You're not going to be smiling like that once I get you locked up in solitary confinement. You ain't the judge, so how about you look on ahead and keep driving? You forgot your badge of honor, or you ain't got one, cop. Officer Simmons clutched onto the steering, trying to control his anger, while the criminal snickered in the back seat. Officer Carter peered a glance at him. You got a lot of charges on you already, man. You don't want to mess around. Why don't you stop me if you can? Leave him. Don't waste your time. He's playing tricks. He just doesn't know I play better, Officer Simmons said, focusing on the road. The trees hovered over them for miles after miles to come. He could only see as much as the car headlights allowed him. Things were pretty much quiet in the car, apart from the constant humming and murmuring slangs from the criminal who obviously was only trying to provoke the officers into an altercation with them. It was about half an hour into the journey that Officer Carter asked his partner to stop the car. "Thanks, I really had to go. Wait here, I'll be right back." Officer Carter walked a distance into the trees where he relieved himself. It was really difficult to see anything out here, but thanks to the car headlights back up on the highway road, he was able to make out the trees around him. However, just minutes later when he heard a strange thud, he quickly ran back and at once, panic struck when he saw the car doors left open and no one inside. He was horrified to see drops of blood leading around the car. Officer Simmons lay lifeless on the ground. Carter checked his pulse and heartbeat. He was no more. He immediately tuned onto his transceiver. "This is an emergency. Immediate assistance is required." But there was no signal. Why isn't this thing working? Carter ran back to the car, but when he tried starting it, it too failed to work. He banged on the steering, letting off a loud honk that echoed through the empty forest. He clenched onto his fist as he got off the car and ran down the road in search, not of rescue, but of that. That son of a... I'll find you if that's the last thing I do. A distance into running down the lonely road, Carter suddenly noticed something shift in the woods. He ran off the road, passing through the dark shadows of the trees that now surrounded him. As soon as he caught sight of the figure just up ahead, "Put your hands up," he yelled. He turned on his flashlight. But Carter was confused. There was no one there. In a panic, he scanned the area around him, but there was no one in sight. Just when his flashlight started flickering, he noticed the man through the corner of his eyes. He immediately turned with his gun pointed directly at him as his flashlight flickered off. "Put your hands up or I'll shoot." However, he continued to walk Carter's way. "Put your hands up or I will shoot," Carter warned sternly before he shot not once, but twice and thrice. But this figure continued to come his way. What? What is going on? Carter banged the flashlight on his wrist as he held the gun firm in the other. For seconds, the flashlight flickered on before it turned off for good. Carter was horrified to see this was no man, but a presence. Something supernatural. He was unable to see this dark figure with the light. However, in the darkness, he could clearly make out its presence. Frantically, Carter began running the other way, stumbling over the trees and roots. In the midst of the panic, he suddenly bumped into someone. He searched his pockets for his lighter. He was shocked to see a young woman. "What are you doing here?" The girl looked anxious. She nervously began stuttering. Are you an officer? Please save me. They're after me. They'll find me soon. I ran away from them." "Who?" My friends, or at least I thought they were." "Friends? How did you all get here in the middle of the forest? What is your name?" "My name is Blanche. There is a manor up ahead. I was invited to a party by some of my guy friends, but when I got there, I found some other people there as well, people I didn't know. I started to feel like I wasn't safe. They were up to no good, and then I saw them slip something in my drink. I made an excuse and left the manor. That's when they started following me, so I ran into the woods to save myself." "How long have you been in here? Have you seen anything else lurking the woods? Some creature or dark presence?" "I felt like there was something around me. I thought it was a wild animal, but a dark presence? Seeing the girl shiver and shed tears, Carter assured her that he would get her to safety. I myself don't know what I saw. We need to get back to the road or find some telephone booth around here. My car's been damaged and my wireless isn't working either. There might be a small gas station down this route. I thought I passed one when I was coming to the manor. I was heading that way. Yes, you're right. There is a gas station, but it's about 6 miles away from here. I'll be able to call for backup there. I've already been walking for 3 miles now. Don't worry, we might even spot another car driving down from there. Officer Carter and the young woman walked through the woods back onto the roadside. Are you alone here? I was with a partner, but I lost him. He was attacked. Attacked? By who? Or what? We were taking back a criminal. He's escaped. So you're saying he might be on the loose, out here, anywhere around here? I'll hunt him down wherever he is. Moments into walking down the road together, the young woman suddenly froze in her place. She widened her eyes as she pointed in front of them. What is that? Carter focused closely in the dark to see that same dark presence coming towards them on the middle of the road. The young woman ran the other way in fear as Carter took out his gun. This hadn't worked before, but he didn't know what else he could do. He fired twice before he turned to follow the young woman, barely seeing her running into the trees. Carter tried his best to keep up, but it was hard to see anything in the dark. Suddenly, as he ran, he felt something hit his feet as he tripped over it and fell to the ground. Smelling a putrid odor, Carter turned on his lighter again, horrified to see the young woman laying on the ground, lifeless, in the light of the small flame. But when he went to examine her, he was shocked to realize the remains were of that days old. How is this possible? No. Blanche! Blanche! Send me a signal if you can hear me. But the woods were utterly silent. Gathering courage, Carter took a step back in disbelief, searching for the young woman he had just now spoken to. But he was unable to see or hear anyone around him, just until he noticed something a distance away. There he saw the dark presence and the same young woman standing there beside it. Carter was petrified. He continued running through the trees, breathlessly, until he reached the road. He wasn't going to stop until he found some way to call for backup. Seeing a glimmer of 2 headlights up ahead, he waved his hands, ushering the car to stop, until he collapsed. It was near dawn when the BIIPD sent backup to the location, where bypassers called for help after finding a stranded officer. Tell us what happened, Carter. I was away from the car when the criminal we arrested. He attacked Simmons and damaged the car before he fled. Did you try following after him? When I went into the woods in search for him, I saw something there. I don't know what it was. It was otherworldly. I stumbled upon a woman. Her name was Blanche. I don't know where she disappeared to. I don't know what has happened over here. There was something in the woods. Something. Upon hearing what Officer Carter said, the BIIPD sent search patrols into the woods. They discovered the remains of a young woman who was later identified as Blanche Jones. And rather surprisingly, further out into the woods, they also discovered the remains of Tucker White, the criminal responsible for the death of Officer Simmons. You believe any of this? There's no way Officer Carter could have seen the young woman the previous night. The remains of Blanche Jones were at least 3 days old. I don't know, but whatever happened here traumatized him. He needs help. He's probably making all of these trying to cope with the loss of his partner. Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting. After a 3-year-long bad relationship with her boyfriend, Casey ran away and moved to this small, sandy coastal town. She was hiding out here, disconnected from her past, where she hoped of starting over and living a normal, peaceful life. With much struggle, Casey rented a cheap room in town and was able to get a job as a waitress at a beachside restaurant. It was a long travel from home, and there weren't any transport in the area. But since one of her co-workers, Jenna, lived in the same direction, she had been dropping her off after work. This sandy coastal town was quiet and calm, but it was a popular tourist destination. The restaurant would often be packed with tourists. But by the end of the day, business slowed down, and those who came were rather questionable people. Here to drink at the bar that would be open till midnight.
Hey, sugar, why don't you bring us a drink?
Here's your order. Where are you going, sweetheart? Sit down and have a chat. You know, I've never seen a woman as beautiful as you. Casey had heard tons of compliments while working here. Men flirting with her, calling her sugar, proposing their love, and some drunkards who even proposed her marriage. But she knew the true nature of men, how men really were, and what men really wanted from her. They didn't want love, they wanted her for a night, so they could go back and share their thrilling story with their buddies of a one-night stand while on vacation. But at least the good news was, Casey had made a good tip today. However, going home tonight would be an issue, since Jenna didn't come to work, and Casey would have to walk almost 40 minutes back to town. It was 12:15 when Casey left the restaurant. It was dark out, the shore was literally empty, but after a long, humid day, now the weather was cool and soothing. Casey clutched onto her bag tightly as she walked down the road enjoying the ocean breeze. But a while later, she spotted a few men, probably a bunch of thugs on their motorbikes, laughing amongst each other. She walked on the opposite side of the road, hoping she could just pass by without being noticed. But numerous thoughts rushed through her mind. She was carrying a lot of money. What if they tried to mug her? What if they tried to take advantage of her? Since Casey had moved here, she had once read news of people who had gone missing from this town. Fortunately, she always carried a knife in her bag. But would she be able to face 3 of them? Casey breathed out in relief as she passed the men without trouble. But within a while, she started to hear a few voices behind her. Look at that visual. She's hot. What a beauty. From the front and the back. Casey slid her hand into her bag, clutching onto her knife, as she caught sight of the men. They had left their motorbikes behind and were following her. She quickened her pace as the men quickened theirs. But the closer they got, the more anxious she became, knowing she might be in trouble tonight. It was all of a sudden, she noticed an old woman on a wheelchair pulling up on the road from the beach side. Erica, where were you? I've been looking for you everywhere. You were supposed to take me home. Come on now, push me, I'm exhausted. Passing a glance at the woman, Casey realized she was trying to help her. Yes, I'm so sorry for being late. As they walked down the road, the thugs backed out, and Casey let out a deep breath. Are they still following? They're gone. That's good. I usually take a stroll on the beach at night, but what are you doing here at this time? I recently moved to this town. I work at the nearby restaurant. My colleague usually drops me home, but she didn't come today, so I'm having to walk home. Where do you live? It's quite some distance from here, about half an hour away.
It won't be safe for you to travel so far at this time, but we've almost reached my house. Why don't you stay the night here and tomorrow try to go home early, alright? Thank you so much, that would be really helpful. A walk away down the shore, Casey followed the elderly woman to a small house where she unlocked her backyard fence. Stepping in, Casey was surprised to see a luscious plant nursery. She hadn't seen a garden like this in any other house in this sandy beach town. Casey actually thought it was impossible to grow so many vegetables here, but this garden was beautiful. Wow, your nursery is beautiful. I haven't seen a garden like this on a sandy beach before. These are my babies, the elderly woman said as she went inside. Casey followed after her. Everything was neat and tidy in her small house. A couch, a table, a few handmade souvenirs. Casey sat down on the couch, noticing a small framed picture of a young woman on the table. Is this your daughter? Yes, Erica, but it's been 6 years since she left me and went to live her own life in the city. The last time I saw her, she was only 16. I don't know how she is now. After she left, she never cared to contact me or see how I'm doing. I was a single mother to her. I raised her with everything, but she's forgotten me now. I'm so sorry. Casey listened to the woman, feeling a bit strange herself. She had done something similar, running away from her boyfriend. It's alright. By the way, I haven't even asked you your name. It's Casey. Casey, I'm Ellen Aldrich. You must be tired pushing this wheelchair all the way here. Why don't we cook up some dinner? Would you mind helping me? Yes, of course. Then why don't you bring some vegetables from the garden, and I'll cook up some noodle soup. Casey went out to the garden and picked out some celery, carrots, mushrooms, and parsley. Miss Aldrich then prepared a hearty soup before she served Casey a steaming bowl. Try it out. Casey took a sip with a smile. Wow, Miss Aldrich, this is delicious. Erica used to like this soup so much. If she were here, she would have been about your age. Have your soup. I'll bring some clothes for you. When Miss Aldrich returned with the clothes, she was surprised to see Casey was washing the dishes in the kitchen. You're done with your soup so soon? Yes, Miss Aldrich, it was delightful. I'm almost done cleaning up. It's alright, you don't have to do all this. I'll do it tomorrow morning. No, Miss Aldrich, it's the least I can do. After cleaning up, Miss Aldrich escorted Casey to one of the rooms. This used to be my daughter's room. You can sleep here tonight. As Casey changed out of her clothes and settled down, Miss Aldrich dropped by again with a glass of water and a bottle of pills. I have a hard time sleeping in this house. The windows and doors all make a lot of noise all throughout the night, so I usually take some meds before I sleep. It helps a lot. You should take some too, otherwise you won't be getting much sleep tonight. It's alright, Miss Aldrich, it won't be a problem for me. As you wish, but if you do hear anything, don't be afraid. It's just that this house is made in such a way. It's only the wind, and don't worry about thieves or anything of the sort. This area isn't that bad, so rest in peace. Good night, Miss Aldrich. As Miss Aldrich left to her room, Casey lay down thinking how nice the woman had been to her. If it wasn't for her, Casey would have been in trouble. She really needed to make arrangements for her transport soon. Sometime into laying in bed, Casey started to hear the sound of a light rain pour outside. From the window, Casey could see the gentle waters of the ocean. She opened the windows to let in the air and soon fell asleep. But it was sometime in the middle of the night that she woke up hearing a loud noise. Casey sat up startled to realize it was only the windows. They opened and closed in the winds. Casey got up and locked them and returned back to her bed. But within a while, she heard another noise. Casey pulled down her blankets, seeing the door creak open and close. Open and close. A bit frightened, Casey slowly stepped down from the bed, trying to think of every possible explanation, but she couldn't. She walked out to the hallway to see if there were any other windows open. Maybe it was the wind. But all other doors and windows were shut. Casey went to the kitchen to get herself some water. After drinking, she quietly placed the glass on the counter and turned to head back, when she heard a loud shatter as the glass fell to the ground as if it had been thrown. How did that happen? Casey had carefully put the glass in the middle of the counter. There was no way it could fall like that. All of a sudden, she froze in fright, hearing the loud banging noise of the window in her room again. She immediately ran back, absolutely bewildered to see the window unlocked and banging vigorously in the wind. She tried turning on the lights, but the switch wasn't working. The lights weren't working. She hurried to close the window again, but the minute she let go, the window burst back open. Casey stepped back as her heart raced. Something wasn't right. That's when she heard a low rumble. She turned around, horrified to see the bed, the wardrobe, the bookcase shaking. She looked out. It was still outside. This wasn't an earthquake. This was something else. Why were all the furniture shaking like this? In fright, Casey ran to call Miss Aldrich, but the minute she stepped out into the living room, her heart jumped, seeing Miss Aldrich laying on the floor unconscious. "Miss Aldrich!" Casey ran to her and tried shaking her to wake her up, but it was when she turned her around. She fell back in shock. There on the floor lay not Miss Aldrich, but her daughter, Erica. Casey was now petrified in fear. She knew she had to get out of here. But as she ran out the back door, her feet slipped along the wet, muddy ground, and she fell onto the soil amidst the plants. As she tried to get up, her hand suddenly touched something in the soil. What was this? Bones? As Casey stared at what looked like a skull in sheer horror, she suddenly heard the door creak open. Miss Aldrich stepped out, now walking, a menacing glare in her eyes. "Where do you think you're going?" "Are you Erica Aldrich?" "Yes, I'm Erica Aldrich." 6 years ago, Miss Aldrich and her daughter Erica lived in this house by the shore. After Miss Aldrich's husband left her, she raised her daughter in this house in the sandy coastal town. But having gone through heartbreak, she was quite possessive about Erica. However, growing up, Erica became fed up of her mother's insecurities and wanted to move out. "Mom, I can't live in this sandy coastal town anymore. There's nothing here. There's no future here." "But Erica, where are we going to go?" "Not we, me. I'm fed up of you. I'm leaving. Now I know why Dad left you, why I had to grow up without a father. It's because you're crazy. No one can live with you." "No one can live with me? No. Now you will live with me forever, just like your dad." That night, when Erica tried to leave the house, Miss Aldrich fatally injured her, and when she died in that state, she buried her in the backyard. Then, living all alone, Miss Aldrich soon started to feel depressed. Until one day, she noticed the greenery begin to blossom from their graves. Greenery in the midst of this infertile sandy beach. From then on, Miss Aldrich began caring for the vegetation and started her own nursery, taking care of her plants like her babies. But it wasn't long before the vegetation again began to wilt, and Miss Aldrich realized she needed more, otherwise her babies would not sustain. It was on one rainy night, while she was out tending to her nursery, that she slipped and sprained her ankle and suddenly got the perfect idea. She got herself a wheelchair and pretended to be a helpless old woman asking people for help so she could bring them back home. "Young man, would you please help me reach my house?" "Sure, miss. Which way is it?" She brought them inside, where instantly they would be impressed by her nursery. And later, she would offer to cook them vegetable soup, with which she drugged them. And once they would be senseless, Miss Aldrich would bury them in her backyard as food, nutrition for her babies. The circle of life. "You're the daughter of Ellen Aldrich that went to the city." "Yes, but after my mother's demise, I decided to return back here." "I'm so sorry for your loss." "It's all right." Casey had just gotten lucky that night, when those thugs were following her, when Miss Aldrich tried to drug her. "You're done with your soup so soon?" That night, when Casey was about to have the soup, the bowl had suddenly spilt over. Casey felt horrible having ruined the food Miss Aldrich made for her. So she quickly cleaned up and lied to her, saying she had it. But that night, after having that unusual experience, when she made the gruesome discovery in Miss Aldrich's backyard, and of Miss Aldrich herself, Casey didn't back out. Casey took the package and returned inside her new home, where now she lived under a new identity. It's been many days since people have stopped going missing in the sandy beach town, but she still wondered the unusual experience she had that night. Was it because of the lower dosage of the medication she had in those few spoons of soup, or had it been something else? Casey stepped out to the backyard, taking in the fresh air. The nursery was now wilted and dried up, all except for the far corner where bloomed the only remaining patch of greenery.
Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting. Monica had just earned her degree last year. She graduated with flying colors and she looked forward to starting a career. While she was attending college in California, Monica had stayed at the campus dormitory. She planned to rent a small apartment somewhere nearby in San Francisco once she graduated. But it was about a month before she was going to graduate that her parents couldn't stop calling her to come back home and spend some time with them. So Monica had gone back to her small hometown, to Langley, Washington, to spend the summer on the island county. Her parents were delighted to have their only daughter back home after a long 4 years. They celebrated her achievement and invited all their neighbors and family friends over to a party. The people all praised Monica on how great she had done. She was such a brilliant student. They all motivated her to progress in her life. Her mother called her to her room and handed her a present. "This is from your grandmother. She told me to give it to you before she passed away. I think it's time you have it." Monica smiled and opened it up eagerly. She found herself staring at some pieces of paper and a small note attached to it. It was from Grandma. Monica shook her head and dropped it into her bag. What kind of property papers are these? This contract has some sort of poetry written in it. It says, "All my heart's desires will come true." What is this? Monica was confident about her future. She wanted to start building her career, and perhaps soon in the future she would continue her studies further. Monica stayed all summer at her parents' home, and although she enjoyed the fun family time, she couldn't wait to get back to the city again. Once Monica was back to San Francisco, she rented a small apartment and started applying for jobs in the big city. Monica was called to numerous interviews, all of which turned out fine. But unfortunately for Monica, she didn't end up getting hired by any of the employers, as she lacked experience. A month had gone by, and Monica realized she desperately needed a job. If she kept on searching for a decent job that suited her credentials, it might take a long time. Monica spoke to a few of her friends about the matter. Some of them also complained that they had suffered from the same problem when they came out of college. As hopeless and disappointed as Monica was, she had no other choice but to apply for some jobs at small companies and local stores. Soon, Monica got hired at a call center as a technical support specialist. The call center was in a busy downtown neighborhood, and Monica had to travel quite a distance every morning to reach work. Every day would be very tiring, with numerous phone calls and all sorts of people asking questions. Sometimes she felt like the caller didn't even have a question. He just wanted to talk, and sometimes the questions were stupid, and others were simply not questions you could answer over the phone. The experience Monica was having at the call center not only made her exhausted, but she was exasperated at the effort she had to give to maintain her new job. Sometimes Monica would pick up the phone to customers who had no clue what they were talking about, and it would seem as if they didn't want to hear the answer either. They persistently argued about their problems, and Monica had a hard time explaining the solution to them. Monica felt as if she was a farm animal stuffed shoulder to shoulder in a cubicle farm for hours, having to chat with customers who ranged from clueless to shaved to irate. And on top of that, there was the presence of a pushy supervisor who kept a keen eye on all of his sheep. It was one of these busy days at the call center that Monica was having trouble keeping up with a huge number of calls. Monica had just barely passed through the morning shift. She sighed and got up and stretched out her legs. It was finally time for her lunch break, the only part of her workday that she looked forward to. Shortly after her quick energy boost, Monica got back to her desk and continued working. She answered the phone, and there was a very angry customer on the other end. She went on yelling that she had been on hold for the past 45 minutes. Monica tried to be polite, decent, and calm down the customer, but she went on yelling as if she hadn't heard anything that Monica had said. After a whole 5 minutes of listening to the constant nagging of the woman on the other side, Monica was just about to ask the woman how she could help her out. "Miss Annabelle, I apologize for the delay. Now could you please let me know how I can help you?" And then it all started again. "Excuse me? Don't address me by my first name. You will address me as Madam Williams. And help? Do you even know how to help anyone out? 45 minutes. Why did your boss even hire you? You are simply useless." When the woman finally toned down and spoke to Monica about her issue, Monica tried to cooperate with her, but it seemed as if the two were going nowhere. When Monica wasn't able to find the woman a solution to her problem, she became even more upset. Monica was becoming a little nervous and didn't know what to do. She had been on the line with this customer for a long time, and she hadn't been able to fix her issue. "Madam Williams, you have to calm down and hear me out. I assure you, with our service, you'll be able to solve the problem in no time. Please try to understand and cooperate with us."
Monica had put the headset down for a while, but she could still hear the woman's loud voice through the speaker.
After a minute, she picked up and apologized again for keeping her waiting. But the woman was simply agitated. She didn't want to listen to her excuses. "You should be fired from this job. You don't even deserve to work here. Go get yourself another job. Hold on. Why would anyone hire you? You're incompetent. No matter you're working at this call center. You sound fit and young, but you're just simply a loser." Monica put the woman on hold and got further assistance. When she came back on the line, the woman kept shouting, "Do you think I have all day? Do you even know who I am? You're wasting my precious time. Time is money and you're costing me a lot." Monica realized the phone call was going nowhere. The woman had gone on personally insulting her, and she was forced to hang up the phone. Monica let out a deep breath in relief. "People are crazy," she said under her breath. She went on with her day. About an hour later, she received another call from the woman. This time, she didn't speak of the technical issue she was having, but she kept on harassing Monica on why she hung up on her. She flew into a rage and demanded to know the reason, and this time her attitude was even more worse. "How dare you hang the phone on me? I'll complain against you. See, I'll make you unemployed for the rest of your life."
Monica hung up the call. She was just wasting time with this psycho.
The woman hadn't called back again. At the end of the day, Monica packed her bags and headed home. The next morning, when Monica arrived at the call center, she was a bit surprised when her supervisor called her into his room. "Monica, I'm sorry to say, I'm firing you. We've received numerous complaints against you, and after looking into the matter, we've realized that you haven't been working efficiently." Monica tried to explain to the supervisor what had happened yesterday, but he didn't want to hear anything. It seemed as if he had to fire Monica even if he didn't want to. Monica was burning in rage. She went to her desk and started packing her things. She couldn't stop thinking about the nasty woman that had called yesterday.
What did she think of herself? Monica was an educated, independent, strong woman. She wasn't going to let someone ruin her life. She tried to remember the name, but it wasn't clicking to her. Before she left, she took a last glance at the call record from the previous day. Then it came to her. Annabelle Williams. Monica noted down the number and address and walked out of the call center, slamming the door shut. That night, Monica couldn't forget how Annabelle Williams had insulted her on the phone. She searched the woman up and found out she was a successful businesswoman who had a line of boutiques across San Francisco and some outlets in New York and Florida. She couldn't believe she had lost her job when it wasn't her fault at all. A train of worries filled her mind, and Monica was left feeling frustrated. Suddenly, she remembered the note her grandmother had given her. She took it out and read it again. "What my heart desires, huh?" Monica woke up the next morning feeling a little better. She prepared herself to go out and search for a new job. She got her coffee from the deli across the street like every morning. "Hey lady, try out the lottery today." Monica wasn't interested, but after the lady kept insisting, she bought a ticket. From then on, it was as if Monica's life had suddenly shifted. A few months back, Monica was having trouble getting a job. Now Monica never had to worry about working anymore. She won a large sum of money from the lottery. She soon bought an expensive house and rode the best car in town. She even hired a few people to work for her, one of whom was Annabelle Williams. "Annabelle, come here please." "Yes, Miss Monica?" "Excuse me, don't address me by my first name." "Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Danvers, it won't happen again." "That's Madam Danvers. Now take my shoes to the closet." Life was nothing but luxurious for Monica. She had all that her heart desired. Now how did I get all of this? I didn't have to do much. It was handed over to me. When life has become difficult and you're searching for nothing but a miracle, close your eyes and sign your name. You will have all your heart can claim, every wish and every desire. Make sure you sign only with red. Once you've made the clear-cut deal, take it to my grave and bury it therein. Soon you will see how life will change in only a blink. But as we all know, everything has a price. Once in a while, I have to make a small sacrifice, according to the agreement. Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.
Tabitha! Tabitha! Leave my Tabitha alone. Give me my Tabitha. Mom! Mom, wake up! You're having a bad dream again. Mom, wake up! I'm here! It's not real! Oh Lord. Tabitha, you're fine. It's alright, Mom. Everything's fine. Wilma. She is a widow and a single mother to her daughter, Tabitha. Since Tabitha's birth, Wilma has been raising her all on her own, while running a local shop in the small town of Castiel. Wilma is very attached with her daughter. Tabitha is the last memory of her late husband, Tony, and she has always been somewhat paranoid and afraid something bad will happen to Tabitha. After Tabitha's birth, she used to have horrible dreams. But over time, it had gotten better. But recently, the dreams have started again, and these days, they have been exceptionally terrifying. It has been some time since Wilma has visited Priest Andrew, so she thought she would meet him. The following evening, after school, dropping Tabitha off at her cello classes, Wilma planned to drive to the church. Mom, Don't be late picking me up. Yes, dear, I'll be on time. Priest Andrew, good evening. Wilma, good evening. What a surprise. Haven't seen you in a while. How is everything? Yes, Priest Andrew. It has been a while. I'm doing all right. How is Tabitha? She's good. She's good. She's doing well. And your shop? I've been managing. Priest, I've been having those dreams again, and this time it's worse. Seeing the worry on her face, Priest Andrew ushered Wilma to his chamber. Come with me. Look, Wilma, you were never able to open up about what happened to you that night. But understand, if you don't tell me, how will I help you? Have a little faith. Tell me, what happened that night? And don't hide anything. Yes, priest. That night, Tony and I were returning to Castiel from my cousin's wedding. I was 8 months pregnant with Tabitha. And our only option of travel was driving 6 hours by car. So Tony was reluctant. But on my insistence, Tony agreed. But he had to return urgently for his business. I didn't want to stay behind without him, so I bid the family farewell and we set off around 10 that night. It was a stormy night, and mid-journey I started to feel the pain. It was time. It was early. Wilma, I told you it wasn't a good idea to travel back and forth in this condition. You could have stayed. I could have wrapped up work and picked you up next week. Yeah, but then who would be taking care of you? I'm a grown man, Wilma. I would have survived 1 week without you, but what are we going to do now? I'm fine. We'll make it. I'll give birth when we reach the hospital. I don't think you have much time. I heard there was a church somewhere around here. Perhaps they'll be able to help us. Around here? Where? It's all dark. Tony, I think I saw it. Trying to keep up their hopes, Tony followed the route until they reached outside the church. Wilma, wait here. Let me see if I can get help. As I waited in the car, Tony hurried to check if anyone was there. When he knocked on the door, within a while, a woman opened. What do you want? My wife, she's in labor, and we've been stuck in this weather. Please help us. Bring her. Relieved hearing the woman, Tony rushed back to get me. Sweetheart, bear with me. Just a little distance, we have to walk there. All right. Stepping out into the rain, I could barely see anything as we walked into the convent. When we reached there, the woman called out 2 other sisters to assist me. Sister Renee, Sister Agnes, please take her in. Come with us, sister. As they took me inside, I saw them close the door as Tony waited out. Is this a graveyard? Tony was waiting for hours outside, anxious as every minute passed. What is happening in there? It has been so long. When almost 3 hours had passed, Tony suddenly heard a cry. He hurried to the convent door. He wasn't sure whether to enter. Just moments after, the woman opened the door. You may come in. You have a daughter. Following the woman inside, Tony saw Wilma laying covered in sheets as the sisters gathered around, passing the child from one person to another. A new sister. I felt a sense of relief seeing Tony again. But for some reason, he was looking so scared. As he neared me, his face had gone pale. He hurried to take Tabitha in his arms and she began crying. Wilma, how are you feeling? I'm fine. I'm better. Coming close to me, he whispered in my ear. Wilma, we have to leave right now. I could sense the fear in his tone, and deep down inside, I had been getting a bad feeling as well. So I immediately got up to leave with him. You must not leave now. No, we'll be fine. Thank you so much for all the help. Be ever grateful. But you see, I have to return for work. Yes, and I'm feeling much better. I'll be fine. We should head off right now. I was in pain, but without any hesitation, I followed Tony and we hurried out of the convent. And got straight into our car. But as we began driving, strange things began to happen. The storm raged on us and it became difficult to see anything. And in all this, suddenly, it seemed like a swarm of birds, or at least bird-like something, began to crash into the car. Before we knew it, Tony lost balance. And the car crashed. I went unconscious with Tabitha in my arms. Fortunately, a couple of hours later, A truck passing by noticed us and rescued us. Tony didn't make it. Remembering the awful night, Wilma wiped a tear. Priest Andrew sighed as he told her, "Look, Wilma, it's a difficult experience. You were in pain, and sometimes extreme pain can cause delirium. Everything you saw or heard that night all happened so fast. There was a storm raging, and those birds, there could be some explanation to it. But then you were traumatized by the accident, by Tony's death. It was a difficult time for you. But Wilma, no one is going to take your Tabitha from you. All this has been haunting you because you had kept it to yourself. You had been holding this event of your life within yourself. You were unable to face them, open up about them. But after all these years, now that you were able to open up, maybe you can let go of this event from your life and move on." "Thank you, Priest Andrew." "No problem, dear." After speaking with Priest Andrew, Wilma was feeling a little relieved. She hurried back to pick up Tabitha from school. And from there they stopped by an ice cream parlor. "What flavor do you want?" "Double chocolate fudge." "So how was your day?" "Don't ask, Mom. Mrs. Merridew is always so mean to me." "All right, but what did you do?" "I didn't do anything, Mom. She's so harsh on me all the time." After that day, Wilma tried to move on from her past and focus on her present. But she kept on wondering about what happened that night 11 years ago. What did she see in her dream? Was it all really just a dream? A hallucination, like Priest Andrew said? I have to go back there. The next week, Tabitha was supposed to join a camping trip from school, and Wilma planned to drop her off and travel out of town. "Be careful and be safe, all right? Stay with others. Don't go off on your own." "Yes, Mom, don't worry." It was a long 2-hour drive, back through the woods and out of town, until Wilma finally reached the church. But it wasn't the old convent they had gone to. So this was the church he was talking about that night. From there, Wilma drove along the same route, trying to search for the old convent. Where could it be? That's when she noticed the mountain peak. And not long after, she drove to a stop in front of the convent. Entering the gates, Wilma looked around. Tony was waiting out here. What did he see? Noticing the tombstones, Wilma brushed aside the weeds and vines, reading the names. Sister Renee, Sister Agnes, Sister Matilda. That's when it suddenly got to her. They were all calling me Sister. As her heart raced, Wilma gathered the courage to go to the convent. But as she was to knock, she found the door open. And inside, The convent lay empty, in ruins, as if it had been abandoned for centuries. How can this be? Rushing to the gates of the convent, Wilma cleared out the sign. St. Elizabeth's Convent, banished for the practice of witchcraft. Do not enter. What really happened that night? What does she think of herself? She's so weird. I'll teach her a lesson.
Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.